Making their long and arduous journey by covered wagon over the old Oregon Trail, these intrepid settlers established the first communities of the Northwest.
At the height of the Oregon Trail migration, something like 50,000 people traveled through this valley in a given year. But it wasn't actually a year, it was actually the course of a couple of weeks. That's because people were traveling west, chasing summer, so they didn't get stuck in the Rockies.
It is the largest or one of the largest mass immigrations in world history. People just picking up from what they know, immigrants coming over with the promise of fertile land. And it's that kind of just pioneer spirit that America just kind of had from the beginning all the way to its present day. So I think it really captures what it is to be an American. The estimate is 450,000 to 500,000 people took the trail. And what we've kind of heard is that for every mile, 10 people died.
It's hard to imagine a journey like this today. I mean, we whiz around in air-conditioned comfort, and sure, people had wagons and livestock, horses and oxen, but the reality is, for all those 2,000 miles, most people walked.
We think of it as traveling, well, you just hop in a car and go. And there were so many dangers. You had tornadoes, you had lightning strikes, you had snakes. Just simply getting run over by a wagon, a gun discharging because it fell off, you falling down and breaking your leg. Then what do you do next? And of course, then you've got the diseases, right? You've got cholera, you've got dysentery, which is our favorite word when we talk about the Oregon Trail, right?
Although we call it the Oregon Trail, the people traveling this way were not just going to Oregon. A lot of them were headed to California, but as many as 70,000 of them were actually headed to Utah. They were heeding the call of the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, to leave Illinois, to leave Ohio. They were being persecuted there, and they felt that they could find religious freedom here in the West. Unfortunately, many of them didn't make it. The route through most of the plains wasn't that hard, but you have all these animals, all these people traveling a fairly narrow route, and sickness broke out pretty consistently.
There's lots of stories of people breaking down, and eventually you just started walking and you left everything that you couldn't carry yourself. It was a 5-month journey. You started in late April, and as you got further west, you kind of followed that early spring. That was always the threat that, if you didn't make the mountains by the snows, that you would get trapped, and there was not enough to be able to sustain you.
I'm here in late September, and it's already starting to feel like fall. Winter is coming, and those snows would have did strand people. And so people were in a hurry to get through.
Obviously, you took food, you took ammunition, you had salt, you had your flour, and it was pretty basic. And then you just hunted for meat as you went through. Really easy in the flatlands. But as you got up into Wyoming, it really became scarce. So there was a lot of starvation. It was that allure of a better life.
The Oregon Trail was at its height in about 1851, but something that was coming that would dramatically alter how Americans traveled their country. The people on the trail took months, 5 months, 6 months to get from Independence, Missouri, all the way to California, all the way to Oregon. But in 1869, the Transcontinental Railroad was complete. It meant you could travel coast to coast in comfort on iron rails from California to New York in a matter of days. No more camping, no more cholera, no more safety concerns.
We have people that travel here from every part of the world to travel the Oregon Trail. I would encourage anybody, if you've got some time, this is one of the unique things that have ever happened in the history of the human race. And I encourage them to come out and take a look at it.